What is up, everybody? It is HomiesOfMars back again today with another Battlefield 3 chill commentary. And today we're going to be talking about change. And the word change can scare a lot of people. In fact, it might change, the way you live life. You might change where you live. And sometimes that can be scary. Sometimes it can be like, oh man, I'm leaving this town where my comfort zone and changing to go somewhere else. A big example is like, say you have a parent in work and you're a minor, you're under 18, so you have to move with them to another area, like maybe another state or another country, if it's even crazier than that. And you lose your friends, you lose your comfort zone, you have to go to a totally new place that you've never been before. But today we're going to be talking about why change can be a good thing. And a lot of people seem to get in this notion that if it's not broken, don't fix it, or change is may not always be the answer, because if right now I'm fine, why should I change? And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's obviously not the case. And one example is just my YouTube in general. How about we just say my YouTube? That's an easy change right here. If I do the same content over and over and over and over again, eventually I'm going to get to the point where either it gets boring or it just kind of stays the same. Nobody else really new comes. The channel just kind of stays the same, and that can be a problem. That's nothing's changing, nothing's advancing. And when you want to, here's a good analogy actually. Let's say that my channel is like resembled as, I want to meet a goal. You got to make a goal for yourself. Let's say my goal is for this amount of subscribers or this much people watching me. Now I'm going to set that goal. And let's kind of match this up towards, say you're going to China, all right? And your goal is to go to China. So what you do is you usually take a plane, all right? You usually take maybe 2 planes, maybe even 3. And now you have to follow me here. If you're going to China, you're gonna ride the first plane. Let's say you live on the east coast of the U.S. You ride the first plane usually to the west coast of the U.S. and then you take a plane either to maybe Japan, or then you just go to straight China. In this case, let's say you go to Japan and then you take another plane to China. But what happens is you have to get off the first plane to get to the second one. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, yeah, I'm going to China, so I got to get off the first plane to get to the second one. Well, it's just like your channel on YouTube or anything that you're doing. You have to take the first step, but you're going to have to be willing to take the second step. All right. What I'm saying is that if I don't get onto that second plane, if I just stay on this same type of content, I'm never going to get to China. I'm just going to stay in California, the west coast of the U.S. I'm just going to stay in there, and I'm never going to get to China. That's not good. Some people are like, oh, well, I'm still in the U.S., I don't want to have to go to China. Well, you got to finally make that final move to go what you want to achieve. Without change, you're not going to achieve goals. I mean, most of the time, that's just the way I view goals. I mean, if you're not making a goal to change something, then what's the point of the goal? That's usually what I believe. I mean, it's rarely, not always the case, but, you got to make a goal that you got to achieve, and usually that takes change. And don't worry about, getting outside of your comfort zone. You got to learn to be outside of that. And I've actually got another example of comfort zone, by the way. There's this kid in my class, all right, and he's very quiet. He doesn't talk to very many people at all. If the teacher calls on him to say something out loud, he doesn't say anything. And he's like, yeah, just move to somebody else. He's too scared to be outside of his comfort zone. His comfort zone is not talking. Well, what's going to happen to him is he's either going to have to learn to talk to somebody or to be open with people, or he's going to be that way all his life. He's not going to meet somebody he loves. He's not going to fall in love because, he's not going to be able to communicate with other people around him. If you're that type of person, it's always good to learn how to get outside of your comfort zone, because getting outside of your comfort zone ultimately expands your comfort zone. At first, it's not always very, enjoyable, because it's like, I don't know what people are going to think. But once you get outside of that, once you can build yourself up, you become a better person of yourself. Which is why today, guys, don't be worried about change. Just because something may be changing in your life, I mean, if you are ever presented with the fact of changing, go for it. Say you got to change to another school system, meet new people, be assertive in what you want to do. Don't let things get in the way of you. Anyways, guys, I hope this commentary helped, and I hope you could understand it. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.